Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Game Pass Grab Bag, your weekly podcast reviewing games with the Game Pass collection, bringing you three unique perspectives of ranking skill range. I am the Charles Ponzi of this episode. With me are Bernie Madoff, Keith.
Hello.
And with us are Elizabeth Holmes, Liz.
Hey guys.
And this week, Keith picked the game. This week, we played The Big Con by Mighty Yell Studios. The Big Con is like a top-down kind of point-and-click adventure game where it takes place in 90s America, where you play this teen who has found out that her mother owes a bunch of money to loan sharks and she's going to lose her video store. So instead of, having a successful future and going to band camp and doing, good things, she decided to just rip people off and try to earn that money to save your mom's store. Keith, why did you pick The Big Con? And start us off. Is this a game or pass for you?
So I picked The Big Con on a blind pick, more or less. I had noticed it come out, I don't know, like a month or two ago. I watched the trailer and I thought, that looks like kind of a neat little game. And so we were looking for a game to play and I suggested that. Hadn't played a minute of it and that was that. Is it a game or a pass for me? I think I could say it's a game. You're gonna have all these things to say, and a lot of the things that you're gonna say aren't entirely wrong, but I don't think it's as harsh as you're making it out to be, and I think it's redeemable as a game, personally.
But you, Liz?
I think overall I'm going to give it a pass. I just kind of had like an icky feeling when I was playing it, like stealing from, moms like with their babies in the stroller and just like, I don't know. It was just, it wasn't the 90s nostalgic game that I thought it was going to be. I mean, it is, but it isn't. And I had some problem with the story and just it had so much potential. Like there was something about it that I really loved, but they just went in a direction I didn't quite like. And I just wanted to say before we start this that, Andrew, you don't really swear. It might pop out every once in a while. He dropped a hard F-bomb when he was talking about this game. I was playing it, and he dropped a hard F-bomb. And he just went on this rant. So, I mean, take it away, Andrew, but I think we all know it's a hard pass.
Yeah, this game...
I could hear it the whole time. You've been like breathing.
His sigh at the beginning, yeah.
Well, me and Liz both spoke, so I think everybody knew what you thought regardless of what we said. But please do go ahead, Andrew.
So this game is a hard pass. That seriously might be one of my most hated games. I really, really did not like The Big Con. I'm trying not to be mean. I'll obviously get into my thoughts on this game, but this game fails on just about every metric that we usually review a game on. Its story's not good. Its gameplay is really bad. Its music is the only thing that some of it's kind of like, hey, okay, it's kind of catchy. But yeah, the graphics are not good and the achievements are not good. So I'll be getting into all this, but I really did not like The Big Con. So I apologize. I think I have vented a good amount of my anger and frustration already to my co-host. So,
well, can we also just, if you're new to the podcast, Andrew is the one that gives everything a game. He loves video games.
Just about.
Just about. No, if you look at his gamer pass rate, I mean, I feel like well over 90% of games you love and you're giving a game. Probably over 95%.
Yeah.
So the fact that you are the one that is so irritated, because I feel like I could be a little hot-tempered, a little sassy sometimes when it comes to certain video games that we've played. But this is rare. This is a unique experience for us.
It brings me
so much joy.
A level of joy.
He's smiling a lot. Keith is smiling a lot today.
I think I had played about an hour of the game when Andrew had texted me, and he just, I think the text was just, this game, oh boy. And my response was, this brings me so much joy, because I still haven't found the exact one. I think it was our Solasta episode that Andrew essentially challenged me. Maybe he didn't do it intentionally, but he was talking about how every game's a game, and I love games and this and that, except for Soccer Story, because Keith can pick Soccer Story. And I said, Challenge accepted.
It's weird. I legitimately,
we
I
are.
would say I like
I'm
Soccer
just
Story more than this
so
game.
perfect. Oh my gosh!
Because like at least Soccer Story
again,
changed up
just
its
joy.
gameplay. The Big Con did not. And I mean,
What did you give Soccer Story? Like, was that like 40s, 50s, 60s?
I can't remember. You're the secretary. You're the one who's been writing everything
Oh,
down.
I don't have like all the old scores. I have like all the games we've played, but not.
But yeah, just so getting into just the description of the Big Con, it says, hustle your way across 90s America as a runaway teen con artist. Choose how to make your scratch as you don disguises, pickpockets, and rip people off in this comedic crime-filled adventure. Experience the totally rad 90s in all its plaid and payphone glory. I gotta say that description does not describe this game at all. I don't know if it's describing a different game, but let's start off with the story of the Big Con. So as I said, it starts off, you're playing this 17-year-old girl who lives in the 90s. I don't think they give an exact day. I think they always just say the 90s. And, your mom's a single mom, and so you're the only daughter, you're the only child, and you guys run this video store, and every night you guys like to make some popcorn and watch a movie at the end. But you stumble upon your mom talking to some loan sharks, and she owes the loan sharks like $97,342 and like 17 cents, which is a constant running joke of that's a very specific number. But that joke didn't land the first time, and it doesn't land the 5 other times we mention it. But anyway, so you're supposed to go to band camp, but you say, no, I need to help my mom save this video store. Because, it's the 90s. The video store honestly probably has 10 years of life anyway, but you're going to ruin your future and not go to band camp. Instead, you find a random stranger who says, hey, I know how to pickpocket and steal money. Do you want to come join me on an adventure across country as we just keep stealing people's wallets? And you say, that sounds like a fun time, and off you go. Did any of you guys like the story?
Well, what I don't understand is, so where did that $97,000 go to? Because Bandcamp isn't that expensive.
No.
And
And
also,
a video store's not that expensive. It's not a brand new video store. Your mom, spent $97,000 on new VHSs?
I don't. They didn't say what it is, but they made it sound like it was for her daughter's future. But I mean, that wouldn't cost that much. And she also, if she was upset about it, she wouldn't have like blown off Bandcamp.
Yeah.
So I don't really understand. And also, like, she wants her daughter to be like super successful and everything. It's like, that's such a weird career to pick. Musicians, like, don't get me wrong, like there are musicians who make tons and tons of money, but like the trombone.
I took it more as to do it to get scholarships.
Well, even if that's the case, it's like, if we all know what happened to video stores.
Yep.
So for me, it's just like she's all about saving this video store, and it's just like you said. I mean, it's just they're obsolete. Like,
Yeah, they went out probably like early 2000s.
but
so.
not only is the mom like really bad with money, if like I don't.
Yeah, you spend $97,000 on nothing.
Yeah, and I really don't understand. I wish there was more information on that. And then also the stealing thing I mentioned earlier, I did not like, because you read something at the end of the game. It talks about, sticking it to the man.
Yeah.
And it still irritates me because it's like, no, you're sticking it to everyday people like who are trying really hard, and you're just going around stealing. Like, I just don't understand why that's like a cute way to have gameplay. Not to, I mean, they didn't really do it in a funny way where it's just like you're like stealing candy from a baby kind of thing. It's like you're actually like stealing from like kids and stuff. It's just weird. I didn't like it.
So I'm just confused where all of a sudden we have this really weird moral high horse / compass in gaming. Where like 2 months ago we're playing Chorves, and Andrew is on my side of like, well, so you killed a planet, but you saved the universe. So I think we can balance that out. Like, you're making this really outlandish moral argument here with me, and now you're like, oh, I don't know about stealing a little bit of money in video games. That just
no, but
really
you had that opinion with Chorvis, though. I did not.
Not necessarily.
Oh,
you,
okay.
Liz. I'm talking about Andrew in particular, because he was the first one to bring this up, and he brought it up with a lot of sarcasm in his voice of like, oh, how silly, you just steal your way across. Like, that's not a bunker. Grand Theft Auto is legitimately based on crime as your main option, and I don't hear you getting on some high horse about Grand Theft Auto, but the Big Con, oh. Now, I get it. The game is short, it's small. You have minimal things to focus on. So that's going to be your thing. But I just don't think it's that silly. And I'm glad that it doesn't write the game in a perspective of the knowledge that we know today that video stores are obsolete. I would prefer that it writes it in the context of them making sense, that they're in a situation that they believe it's their future.
Kind of like the laundry game that we just played. The arcade.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they don't talk about
okay.
how the arcade's gonna fail. The laundromat's gonna eventually. Well,
Yeah, but
laundromat still
you're
exists.
rooting for the person though. I mean, arcades exist, but they're not very profitable. At least not that I've seen.
Yeah,
But going back to what you were saying about morality, when I play games, I always pick like the nicer answers. We've played a lot of games where you can be a jerk, where you can be the nice guy. And I think there's a big difference between playing a bad guy, like in what was that Minions game that we played? The ball.
Oh, Evil Genius.
Yes,
Okay.
Evil Genius, where you play like a bad person. He kills people. He's bad. You play a bad character. Versus this is someone who is doing really bad things, but she pretends that she's doing good.
Yes. Thank you for bringing that up, Liz. Because that's a perfect example. So, yeah, Evil Genius, and in your example, Keith, Grand Theft Auto, those games are meant to be satire. It's meant to be known of you are not a good person. The game never says you're a good person. You know you're a bad person. But they are meant to be satirical. And in the end, like as Liz said, this game's not meant to, like, it's supposed to be comedy filled. But yeah, as Liz says, your character thinks she's good or that you're doing good things. Like your intentions are good to save your mom's video store. But it's just,
But also, it's like the whole like trope where it's just like the teenager isn't understood, and her parent does, like her mom doesn't understand that she doesn't want to go to camp, and like for me, it was just like that was with the story kind of just so overdone.
Yeah.
I mean, I just like the angsty, I'm
Liz hates angsty teens.
yeah, there's just something about it with like this particular story that it just like you've seen it a million times. And the game that you mentioned earlier, Keith, what'd you say, Chorvis? Is that actually
No,
pronounced
it's Chorves, as Keith, but it's
It's supposed to be
Chorus.
chorus. but
Okay,
just
I
call
thought it was
chorus.
chorus, but I said it like that because Keith did. I didn't
well, you're
trust
calling it
myself.
Chorvis.
Oh,
Keith
so
calls
I
it
heard it
chores.
wrong, and then I said it wronger. But in my head, I knew it was the right thing. Is what's happening right
Yeah.
now. But that character, she knows that she did evil,
Yeah,
and
and
that
she's
she
trying to be
probably can't get. She can't. You can't take that back. She knows that she wants to do good now, but that will always be a part of her. That evilness. So for me, it's just like that's why I just think it's very different.
I mean, I just think the big con as a whole is a bit satirical. It's a bit tongue in cheek, and that's where I don't think that it's all that shocking or out of, I don't know, all that crazy. That yes, this kid thinks she's doing good. That's where she finds out she's wrong, and she thinks she's doing good, but no one ever says she is, other than your protagonist friend, who is also a con artist. So it's not as though people are walking around like praising her for stealing from
Actually,
people.
they are. There are a couple of people that are like, "Oh, you did a good job stealing those licenses."
Because again, fellow con artists. It's not as though it's like she gets arrested and then the police are like, well, it's a pretty good deal that you were stealing from people. We're glad you did that. Go ahead, because you're trying to save your mom's business. Like, nobody says that to her, aside from the con artist friends.
But how do you not know that stealing is wrong? Like, especially because her mom has a video store, and people steal from that store. Like, every store is stolen from.
It's a desperation thing.
But she doesn't
understands
feel
her
bad
mom's up
though.
against loan
What I'm
sharks.
saying though is that the entire time that she's doing this, she never once from what I've played, that I didn't hear her say like, "Oh man, I really shouldn't be doing this. Stealing is wrong."
Yeah.
That's a kid right there. I'm stealing from a child. Like,
Yeah. Oh, this
there's
kid has a
no-
rookie baseball card. I'm gonna take it and sell it for like $50.
Yeah, like there's nothing in her that was like, I maybe shouldn't do this. So that's why it's like, I mean, she either it's a bad character or it's not, or make it more complex so that I actually feel bad for her. But they make it so that I don't feel bad for her, that I'm not rooting for her.
I'm not saying she's likable. Don't get me wrong. I'm not arguing that it's a likable character. I'm just saying I don't think that it's all that crazy to, I don't know, have a character that's not good. It's a video game. It happens.
Okay, but for me, the morality aspect of the story isn't even my least complaint about the story. My complaint overall about the story is that it was so predictable. I'm sorry, I'm gonna just spoil the story because there's really not much to write about. But right off the get-go, you meet this guy who's like, I'm going to teach you to be a con artist and steal wallets. And right away, I was like, $50, this guy is going to con me and take all my money. And, what do you know? That's what happens. And so now you got to get back at him. And it's just like, this story is so predictable. It just wasn't interesting at all.
Well, then the other mechanic where you make it so that people lose track when they're counting.
Yeah.
It's like she's getting so many people fired. Like you losing like $100 from
You're stealing from people who are on a date, so it's like they can't pay for their meal.
Yeah. It's just like things like that too. I just thought of that when you were talking, sorry. But yeah, if that's the other mechanic and story-wise where I'm instantly like that person is definitely probably going to be fired.
But then my other issue with the story was this massive missed opportunity of Rad Ghost, which is like something that is like, anyone who's usually grown up in like a 90s and seen like 90s sitcoms, it's funny. There's always usually some sort of wise figure. Sometimes they're cosmic, sometimes they're spiritual. Sometimes it's a real person like Home Improvement with Wilson, the neighbor, who always, spouts some wise wisdom to give the main character some, reflection and maybe some moral guidance. And that's essentially what Rad Ghost is supposed to be. This ghost that there's no backstory. Only your character can see him. And he is so useless. He literally just usually pops up and says, "Hey, stay cool, Allie C." And she's like, "You're awesome, Rad Ghost." And like, that's it. It's like, this is a funny kind of mechanic of like, hey, it's like the 90s where they did this. But he later on in some areas is meant to be a helper. Like, oh, you're trying to get this information from this guy. Maybe you should give him a sandwich. Like, and that's kind of it. He's like a way to guide you. But he was very useless. And it was like a thing where I'm just like, oh, this could have been a great opportunity to be funny or cheeky. Or he could be the one like, hey, I don't think what you're doing is right. Maybe find a different route, or maybe you should actually go to band camp.
That would be a great idea. Hey, was he the character in the skateboarding game?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. Which I actually kind of like that game. But
yeah. Oh, I hated that game. Oh my gosh.
well, no, I didn't play it as much as you guys did. If I had been going for the achievements, like, yes, I would have ended up hating that game. But
yeah.
But speaking of Weird World Compass too, I also want to make a point because you brought up the Ghost skateboarding game. This game, you literally will steal from anyone and everyone, like children. You will steal from, single mothers that are walking their baby, but you will not steal from a kid in a wheelchair. That's where the game apparently draws the line. There's the wheelchair kid who is, he's a video gamer that you're supposed to beat his high score in every single area, but you can never steal his wallet.
I didn't notice that.
I
I want to point out the fact too. So there's this train sequence in the game, and I like immediately got kicked off the train because I pulled the emergency because I was like, I'm sure there's a puzzle here, but that might help me get him away from the door. I did, but I got kicked off the train a couple times.
Not you off the train.
Oh, so the thing is about the Rad Ghost is I don't think you're wrong in that it's probably one of the worst characters in the game, unfortunately. Yeah. I don't know that he's supposed to be some source of cosmic wisdom. I think he's more just like an imaginary friend to the main character, and he more validates her than anything. And the only thing he does of any contextual wisdom is he just tells her not to do drugs, which I think is sort of a 90s joke of it was always don't do drugs, kids. But at the same time, like it was the campaign, like Dare and all of that of the 90s. So that kind of fit, I thought. But he is kind of boring, and he's a missed opportunity to be a lot more fun than he is as a character.
Yeah.
I actually ended up really liking the security guard. Was the one character I liked the most. Well, security guard, or she's a whole bunch of different things, but she follows you throughout the game, and she ends up being, I think, the best character of them all. and you just
It's a
don't
very
find out
low
till the
bar,
end.
so I guess you're right.
Sure, maybe. I mean, I don't really have, other than the fact that this game in particular really is built on the story more than anything. You know me, I don't care if a story is particularly well crafted. I thought overall, while the game wasn't hilarious, I thought there was enough chuckle-worthy moments crammed into a small time period that it didn't feel like, ugh, this is the worst thing I've ever done. It just wasn't.
There
that
were a
bad.
couple
actually
times.
chuckled?
Well, I thought getting kicked off the train was pretty funny, but like I feel like I didn't find it very humorous. But there were a couple times like that I did. I also thought it was weird that they had that guy that she was trying to get to quit smoking.
Yeah.
That was really random. Like you would just like run into him and you'd give him a fact about.
Yeah, that's when you had a moral compass. You're okay robbing people, but hey, don't smoke cigarettes. That'll kill you.
Do you know what? It still blows my mind though, because like in the '90s, that was like a big thing in schools where. Like,
Yeah, they used to have cigarette vending machines.
When?
Well, no, it was also like a big push
To
to
quit. Yeah,
quit
because I
smoking.
mean, if you think about it, like a couple of decades before, they were telling people to smoke if they were stressed and stuff. And then when the '90s, they were like, "Oh wait, you know, all the information I gave you is wrong and it kills you. We need to start saying to kids in school not to smoke cigarettes." And that was like, I remember so many things in school about not smoking.
No, like cigarette vending machines were still pretty common. Those finally went away like 2000s.
I remember when there were restaurants you could smoke in.
Yeah. They
In
always
the
had a
US.
smoking section.
Yeah, they had the smoking section.
But yeah, it is kind of odd that was like the one thing that was like, yeah, a character does what, try to help someone from not smoking. The only person that kind of made me chuckle, I didn't really kind of pick up on it until you mentioned it, Keith, but you're kind of interacting with a Seinfeld character who's supposed to be kind of like Jerry Seinfeld. Even like
Yeah.
the way he talks.
Yeah, his sound effects are annoying, but that's
Yeah.
everyone.
Are you guys talking about the guy that
Pre-
wants
preview,
like
but-
4 or 5 of different things?
No, this
Oh,
guy,
okay.
you meet him in a
No.
different area, and he's doing jokes for you, and you're supposed to critique him.
Oh, okay. I know who you're
Yeah, and
talking
he always
about.
has some just really, really bad joke, and I don't know. You can mostly roast him, and I think it's just about interacting with him every time more
Which
than anything.
that is also a massive thing I hate about the story. This is another one of those games that fakes you having choice. At first it was a cool concept. Like someone's talking when they're like, "Hey, check out that guy by the store," and the guy, like the word "guy," will be highlighted blue and has an X next to it, and "store" will maybe be highlighted with a Y next to it. So it's like a cool way of someone talking. That there was like a way to steer the dialogue of like, oh, do you want to talk about the guy or do you want to talk about the store? And so depending what button you push, your character will kind of respond that way. But it was completely irrelevant. There's no real choice in this game. And I hate when a game tries to do that of like, oh, what do you want to say to this person? But it's massively irrelevant. I would purposely pick really awful things to see if like it would close me out on like a quest or something. It doesn't. The only choice I had was at the very end, where I could basically decide if I wanted to arrest somebody. And I said, you can go, you can leave, you're not worth my time. And there was no play out of it. The guy literally left, and the cop was like, oh, he got away. Oh well. And like, that was it. It was like, okay, like, that was, like, nothing happened. And I hate that.
Well, I think if you do that, in theory, you've quote unquote taught him his lesson, because there was like, I don't know, you find out what he does wrong, and you basically blackmail him into quitting. But
There's no
I don't know.
payoff. You don't know that. You don't know
no,
if
I
he
get
quits.
that. No, true. And overall, you're right. I think it was a good concept that didn't get played out as well as it could have, in the sense of having it sort of built into the dialogue, in that what you choose to respond to more than what you choose to say. But yeah, I the game was so linear, so that I just didn't really. Where it bothered me was you could jump ahead on puzzles or solutions to them, and so that's where on the gameplay, and I know that this is one of your biggest gripes.
Yeah.
That it just I thought the puzzles were kind of fun.
What puzzles?
If they the cons you're pulling off. Now, I know most of them are just pickpocketing and a lot of things, but there is a few where it's like how you have to get codes to open doors and things like that, and you do have to talk to people in certain sequences and have certain things that you've picked up and found, and so in that sense, it is a puzzle, whether you like it or not. that would be what makes it a puzzle. But I think the problem is that they're not all that good because you can sort of jump around and it gets confusing and it makes them hard to keep track of. Whereas other games, you have to complete certain steps before you do certain other things.
Yeah, like there was the ear icon where it's like I'm supposed to be able to listen, but I already did the quest. So like, I go up there and I'm like, I can't interact with it. And then I found out after like watching a video that it was because I'd already done it. But because we're talking about gameplay, I wanted to say really quick that, so this is a short game. I did not beat it. And the main reason is because this game does something that like really irritates me more than anything else that a game can do. And that is waste my time. It crashed. And when it didn't even crash. It had like the load symbol and it just wouldn't load the game. And then so when I went back into it, it erased like all the progress that I had done that day. And which, I mean, it makes it quicker because obviously I know where everything is and all that. But I greatly dislike when a game makes it so that I have to redo stuff. Like that was brutal. And so for me, it's like I put the time into it. I'm not going to give the game more time and then I started doing it again and I exited it out and I was like, it's probably not going to. And that time it didn't erase everything. But I did do the manual save. But yeah, I'm just saying I didn't finish it even though it was a short game because I had to redo a bunch of it.
It's funny that you're saying this because, like, honestly, I felt like this game, the entire time I played it was a waste of time.
Well, that's what I mean.
I'm not trying to be mean, but I played 5 hours of this game, and I legitimately feel like I put more time in this game than I had Starfield. Like, it was a very long 5 hours.
Do you know, I really didn't mind the game that much, but it's just the principle. And like that's the thing, I started manually saving and I felt like better like moving forward and stuff, but we only have to play a certain amount of time each week and I don't want to give up my free time to a game that I'm not really loving and that I know might crash and I might lose everything. So that's kind of like where I'm at with that, but
I'm the same, Liz. Like, if the game is just going to end up making me, like, lose time. I luckily did not have any of that issues. I only played the game, I think, in 3 sittings, and I was done with it. And I did it all on xCloud. So it worked out relatively well. But I agree. I don't want my time to be wasted at all.
Yeah, it really only auto-saves at at the chapter breaks.
Which... At the beginning of the game, I think it's kind of funny when it shows a floppy disk, and they even wrote a text of like, this icon's a floppy disk. This was a thing that we used to save memory on. And it's just like, that's kind of funny. Because I am curious how many kids, I feel like so many kids nowadays just know it's a save symbol, but they don't quite know what the thing is.
It's true.
But yeah, I don't like my time being wasted, and I'm sure no one else here does. But that's one thing I absolutely love about these wonderful 2-ounce drinks that we've had the pleasure of experiencing. And I am talking about Magic Mind. Magic Mind are these wonderful 2-ounce shots that you can sip within just a few minutes. Or if you want, you can actually heat it up and add it to your coffee or drink it slowly. There's numerous ways you can enjoy Magic Mind. I've been taking Magic Mind for a while. I love how quick and efficient these drinks are. I usually will have my coffee, and I can usually just drink a little Magic Mind in between, and I'd never have to usually finish my coffee. Magic Mind has some wonderful products in it, such as matcha, which is a great like a prolonged release caffeine. You know, it has Boca Manieri, which is a nootropic. Same with ashwagandha. It has awesome mushrooms like lion's mane mushroom and cordyceps mushrooms, which is a aptogen, which helps release inflammation and stress. And I gotta say, Magic Mind's been great. I am a third shift healthcare worker, and anyone who has ever done just third shift knows the struggle of trying to stay awake throughout the entire shift. Usually when I do 12-hour shifts, I usually start my day by having a massive Yeti of coffee, which I end up drinking over like 3 hours. And anyone who is exhausted and just drinks coffee, you know, it doesn't wake you up. It just makes you feel more jittery and high-strung. So you're just high-strung, but you have a lot of energy. And you still may not be able to function because you're really tired and exhausted and you've had a busy day. But I always have to find a way to balance my caffeine intake as I'm still working my 12-hour shift. So ever since I've been adding Magic Mind into my routine, it has been wonders. Because I usually don't drink my entire coffee. I drink a little bit of it. Come midnight, I usually pop my Magic Mind, and I am good for the rest of the shift. It is weird to actually be working and having to run to an emergency call in the ICU, and I feel like I'm totally in control. Like if it's 2 a.m, I'm exhausted. My blood is literally just running on coffee. It's weird to feel exhausted, but you got to do your job. You got to get things done. But with Magic Mind, I actually feel like I can focus. I can prioritize my tasks. I can get things done, and it saves me a bunch of time. And it's been great. And then also too, the struggle that most people on third shift knows, you need to, balance your caffeine intake. But then when you go home, you got to go to bed. And you just had a coffee a couple hours ago, and now you're just laying in bed and your mind won't shut off because you have coffee running in your blood. But no, not with Magic Mind. I have actually had a great night's sleep as soon as I get home from work. I'm exhausted, but I lay down and I am out like a light. So thank you so much, Magic Mind, because this product has been so great for me at work. It has helped me so much. I even gave it to one of my coworkers, and she has now been hooked with it as well. If you struggle with third shift, trust me, Magic Mind needs to be in your routine because it has been wonders. If you're at all interested, please go to magicmind.com/GPGBpod. That's magicmind.com/GPGBpod and use promo code GPGB20 to get 20% off your first purchase, or for a limited time, 56% off a subscription service. That's magicmind.com/GPGBpod and the promo code is GPGB20. We'll have the link in the show notes. But thank you so much, Magic Mind. Thank you for introducing me to this wonderful product.
Well, if it makes either of you feel better, at least you, Liz. I know you stand by your laurels on this, that you're not always wrong and bugs do exist. But I got the same issue with it freezing on me. It did only happen once. And I don't know, I played this game over a handful of different settings because I would just play like 10 minutes of it, pause it, and then I don't know, get distracted by something else and never go back to it. So it says I put like over a day of gameplay into this. I did not. I will say that.
I was wondering, Keith, I'm like, are you really that inefficient with this game that you put over a day in a 5-hour game?
No, there was also one time I sat here for probably like 2 hours playing, but I also only played like 30 minutes because I was playing a game on my phone, and I would like look down and play a game on my phone, and I look back and be like, oh yeah, that dialogue, I'll finish that dialogue and
See, this is a great, you know a game's great when you're playing another game while you're playing this game, Keith.
Phone games do that to me occasionally. It's a stupid idle game that I found, and those ones are the worst. But that said, so one of your biggest gripes is the walking.
Okay, let me explain this. This is the main core gameplay that the developers designed for this game. Your whole thing that you are doing in this game is just blindly rubbing your face against walls, because you're trying to find items. Like I said, both me and Keith were like, oh, we wanted to maybe do a point-click adventure game this week. So I thought this game was even a point-click adventure game. But the thing about a point-click adventure game is you can see items. You can see, hey, there's an item over there I need to pick up, put in my inventory. Maybe I need to use it for a puzzle in this game later. But not in the Big Con. The Big Con, you are blindly rubbing walls, looking, hopefully an item will appear saying, hey, there's something here to pick up. But you can't see the item. There's stickers you're collecting, which are just kind of a collectible achievement thing you're doing. But you need to find items that, someone wants a sandwich. Well, start rubbing against trash cans. Maybe you'll find a sandwich. You don't know. There's no indicator. Just keep rubbing against things. So it's not fun. Like, it just delays you on gameplay because you just got to rub against everything.
No, and I get that. There are some items you can sort of see, like a few of and I'm not defending it overall, but I will say there's some that you can see. Most of the items are just other ways to make money, is what they come down to. So they're not complete red herrings because they have an end to them for the most part. But overall, they're not really story driven, I will say. Except for the stickers. Those are the ones that there's really no option other than to just blindly rub against walls. And that one I don't understand. I do think, again, it's a complete miss because there's no names for the stickers. It's just a shape. The shape kind of tells you what it could be, but not enough. If it at least gave me a name for the sticker, you could use that to be like,
that would make it fun.
This is kind of a fun little
where's Waldo
puzzle
kind of thing. Find the object.
Because it has a name for all the stickers, because when you find it, it's like, hey, you found this sticker, and it gives you the name. So that did annoy me, and honestly, I ended up just, I don't know, using a walkthrough for
Me
those
too.
because there was like one or two that I was struggling with. I was like, I'm just gonna do this. So, yeah, I get it. And actually, it was funny because there was one achievement I was looking at where I don't know how tongue in cheek they meant it to be, but the actual description they used was. Now slam your face along the long side of the hedge next to the bench.
I saw that.
And I just like the term "slam your face" because that is kind of the gameplay, and I can't argue that.
And it's not fun.
But it may not be fun, but I just don't think it's as offensive as you make it out to be. And we have played plenty of other games that didn't have an overall great mechanic that just didn't make you as angry.
Right when you said Click and Point, I remembered that game.
You always remember this game, but you never remember its name.
Yes, because we did like Beacon Pines. I know that's on it. And then it was like, it kind of reminds me of like the Twin Peaks. And then, Timberweed Park.
Yep, that's it.
I can't believe I got that.
Thimbleweed. Yeah, close.
Thimbleweed Park.
One of these days, Liz. And I only got that far.
Yeah,
you
I
got
actually
the
forgot the name
Timberweed,
too.
So
yeah, I was just like shouting out random words. Because that was took place in the 80s, right?
Yes.
Click and Point.
Yeah.
And both of these, that's why I get so frustrated because it's like, I think it has so much potential and they've just went in different directions. So with that one that I just mentioned, it was the ending that was like the big, thing that I didn't like. But with this game, it's just, there's so many things.
Yeah. Like I said, so majority of the time, yeah, you're rubbing your face against things to find objects. But a majority of the gameplay too, you're pickpocketing people. And that mechanic is hold Y, a bar will appear, and an arrow, you need to let go of the Y when the arrow is pointing at the highlighted purple section. If you miss, people get mad at you and they just tell you to go away. But you put on a new mask and you get to pickpocket them, even though you put the mask on right in front of them. So it's like the disguises mechanic was really dumb. Like it didn't make much sense. It didn't really add anything. It was just kind of like, oh, I missed the pickpocket. Let me try again, even though I did it right in front of somebody.
Or you just turn on auto pickpocket.
Or yes, you go to press start, go to options, and say instantly complete auto pickpocket. So you no longer have to do that mini game.
Yeah, you showed that to me after I stopped playing.
Because I wanted you to suffer a little bit like I did. Because I did not realize that option until near the end.
What a horrible thing to say.
It told you in like the first 5 minutes. He's like, hey, you can do this. Or unless you don't want to, just do this. It tells you.
I know,
really
but
at the beginning.
who remembers things at the I say this all the time. I never remember instructions at the beginning unless it's something that I implement at the beginning. Like if you're teaching me like how to take out my sword, I'm going to remember that because that's an important thing. But if you're like, eventually if you don't want to do this. But Andrew, you want people to suffer with you? Is that what you're saying? I am your wife, and you didn't even tell
I wanted to have you a little time. Because when you first were doing it, you're like, oh, yeah, the pickpocketing's fine. Like, you were kind of enjoying the mechanic. But this is a 6-hour game, and you were literally pickpocketing, like, hundreds of people. I got so sick of doing it. So that's why I wanted you to kind of suffer a little bit to realize this is way too much. I am pickpocketing so much.
You said earlier it was because you suffered, though.
And that's
what
the
you
thing.
said.
The developers clearly know it's not a fun mechanic because they give you the option to turn it off. If it's a fun mechanic, why would a developer give the option to not do it? Like, it's like, hey, you want to play Halo where you shoot aliens? Are you sick of doing that? Do you want to stop doing that? Do you just want to walk past the aliens? Why don't you do that?
That's a really good point.
So it's like the developers know it's not a fun mechanic. So it's like, make it more interesting, make it more fun. Because, yes, you're doing pickpocketing. And then the other mechanic that they add in is called change breaking, which, Liz was talking about earlier. And that is another very simple mechanic of, you're having a store clerk break whatever amount you pick. You can do $20, $50, or like $100. And the clerk is counting. He'll say like, 10, 20, and then he'll say he'll make a noise, whether it's like, and you, depending on the noise he's making, you either tell him a joke, or you say something weird, or you ignore him. Those are your three options. And that's all you're doing is these weird mechanics. What noise did he make? Better tell a joke.
Which another bug, sometimes like the noise wouldn't work.
Okay.
And so when I first started doing it, I'm like, wait, I don't know what's like is he like
a sigh? You're supposed to say a joke. When he sounds confused is when you say something weird.
But when you first start doing it, you kind of forget which is which.
Yeah.
But also those noises, like not to get into audio too quickly, but it was so annoying. There was a part when in the train.
Oh my god!
And I guess I was blocking him or something,
Oh
and
my
it was
word.
just this.
This is giving
I
me,
can't
like,
even do
PTSD
it.
remembering this.
But and then same with when I first booted up this game, and the theme song, like the opening
Yep.
scene, I was trying to do something while I had booted it up, and I was trying to do something really quick. And oh my word, I have never hit a mute button so fast.
I gotta put some of this audio in this episode so people understand.
Yeah, because it was just over and over and over again, and I'm just like, I am never gonna do a chore while my game is booted up again. That was wild.
Yeah.
What are you gonna
Come on,
say,
Keith,
Keith?
defend it. This was a game for you.
I mean, that one I've got nothing for. I mean, that was that opening. It would have been fine if there was more than just the hook over and over and over and over again. Yeah, like if it had
over and over again.
if it had even mostly, if it had like a minute of audio between there, maybe. But no, it was like every 10 seconds that it would just scream that at you. That was a bit much. So don't leave it on the home screen. But that's an easily avoidable thing. You don't have
I
to
did
do
it
that.
once
Just-
and I
Or
didn't
don't
do it
play the
again.
game.
Sure, don't play the game. I don't care. Dude, don't.
No, but at least it had a good song. When you on the main menu, if you go to extras, it does the credits. In the credits, this is the same song that's also in the trailer. Because I remember I was with you, Keith, when I saw the trailer. I'm like, oh, this game looks like it could be kind of a zany, fun adventure game. Like this could be kind of fun. I like the song. It's a very 90s intro like TV show song. Actually, a pretty decent song. I actually liked it, but you only hear it during the credits, and yeah, it's not that great. Like it's good, but yeah, the Big Con song was really annoying, and there actually is one more song later on that was okay. So you kind of have three songs: one that was pretty good, one that's okay, and then one that's really not good. But yes, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you brought that up. I remember specifically the train, Liz, of that the
You did the
attending.
noise perfectly. I can't do it.
Oh, it was so bad. Because you're just walking by, he's constantly just going, ah,
That's it. Yeah, I can't do that noise.
over and over again. It was driving me bonkers. But yeah, the audio. This is, I mean, there wasn't much more to talk about with gameplay, but the audio. This is another game that just constantly does just sounds. It's not really people's voices. It's just a lot of over and over again, which is got really old really fast. And not only that, since we already talked about the options, do you want to make your ears bleed even more? Because there's an option to turn on a laugh track. And I got to tell you, I turned that off so quick. I was like, oh, let's try this out. Let's see how this is.
What do they laugh at?
The quote unquote jokes. I'm sorry, I'm being mean. I'm gonna tone it down. I'm trying not to be mean to this game. But no, your character does say a lot of pun jokes. And so, of course, that's very typical 90s sitcom of it's always filmed in front of a live audience. So you have people kind of laughing. But yeah, the laugh track was the same kind of audio. So it was something that was like, this is turning off right away because it's just you're trying to watch a story and somebody says a joke and you just hear people going, oh, and I was like, yep, that's going off.
Because you're never like this negative about games. I'm actually really enjoying listening to you.
The audio is rough.
Yeah. Well, and mostly the dialogue. I didn't mind, aside from, and I don't even really remember it that much, but outside of Las Venganza, one of the areas, you're never really in a place long enough, I don't think, for the music to get overly annoying. Again, barring the very obnoxious intro theme song there. I didn't think the audio was terrible. Aside from the dialogue, and within the first 30 seconds, I went, oh, this is a hate. And I don't think, beyond the dialogue, within the first 5 minutes, and you hadn't even texted me, I pretty much knew you hated this game, just based on that alone. But I think for me, still, the written dialogue itself wasn't overall terrible. Some of it, yeah, a bit cringy, dumb, but overall, I thought there was... I don't know. There's a lot of little puns built in here and there that I thought were, again, at least chuckle worthy. And more than anything, I just appreciated all of the pop culture references. They were stupid, and it wasn't, again, like wow, this is a must play. But for me, I thought it kind of kept me interested of where they were just hiding these little Easter eggs of, like when you walk into the theater the first time in Las Venganza, they have the Bart and Garth. Yeah. Wait. No, Wayne and Garth from
Wayne's World.
Yeah, from Wayne's World. So like they had those characters. Everyone kind of had a Doug.
Yeah.
Well, you remember Doug, but like everyone had that kind of look to him, I thought, as far as the
Yeah, because they had weird
animation
colors.
and-
Like people were purple or light blue, teal. Like they had wacky colors to their skin, like Doug.
Yeah, so all of those reminiscent little pop culture things is what I more or less appreciated, and it kind of made it palatable in my opinion.
I remember playing this game within 30 minutes. I was like, oh boy, if this game does not like improve its gameplay, I knew I was like, I'm going to hate this game. Because even too, like I said, I found right at the beginning, I was like, I can almost guarantee this is what the story is. So I really wanted to beat this game because I'm like, I really hope this game proves me wrong and maybe does something with the story. It doesn't.
I am really curious how, like, I feel like I can't tell what Keith really feels about the game because
know.
he's
That's what you
automatically
do.
trying to stick up for a little bit, you know, like you obviously don't want to dump on a game, especially if all three of us are like, you know,
Yeah.
So Keith, I mean, do you know what? I'll just wait for the scores. I'll be able to tell by your score, but I'm just like, I'm really curious what your score is going to be because
And
can't
I agree.
tell.
I'm trying not to dump on this game. I know people worked hard on it. Kind of. Sorry. I know people worked on this game, but like, there is just a lot of things that I'm seeing that I'm like, wow, who thought this was fun?
And again, I'm just nervous, like if people are new to the podcast and they don't realize that this, because like in reference, I just want to reference this real quick. So far this year, besides this game, you've only passed on 2 games. It is now September.
Yeah.
It's September. It is now September. Besides this game, you only passed on 2 games this year.
What were the 2 games? And I probably
Oh, do you
picked
guys
them.
want to guess?
Well, it's not Soccer Story because
That was last
I
year.
just was looking. Yeah, because that was right in December. I happened to see that.
I don't know.
Oh, one was Anvil.
No, that was last year. Anvil was last year. I'm assuming they were Keith picks. Were they?
I don't know if they were Keith picks. I don't really know who picks what. I just say, tell me what to play.
I honestly have no idea.
So one of them was Homestead Arcana,
Oh, yep.
and then the
Oh, yeah.
other one,
I picked that.
which I think was a pass for a lot of people, Redfall.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
those make sense.
But that's it.
Wait, I
Kind
thought
of
I
group
actually still
pick.
gave Redfall a game. Oh, I think I gave it a pass at the time, but I said if they fixed the bugs, it'd be worth a game.
Yeah, I don't think that
Oh
happened.
man. So this is in the league of Homestead Arcana and Redfall. But so getting into the graphics though, I'm with you, Keith, where I first appreciated the art style of that it is kind of like, oh, this is like Doug, you know, wacky kind of colors for people and stuff like that. But graphically, this game was so lazy. It reuses a lot of character models. There's one shop clerk. He looks exactly the same in every single area. Just maybe we'll have a different skin color, but he's exactly the same. You know, your character's walking where it's kind of like it's like 2.5D. So your character, you can move, you know, northeast, southwest, you know, and move around a board, but the screen is flat, the camera's fixed. And there was a lot of like clipping issues. Like there's a lot of times where like, oh, I can rub against this wall, but no, now there's an invisible wall here. It didn't make much sense. And then really dumb design. There's some items and characters that are behind walls. So the camera's fixed. You have to have your character go behind a building where you can't see your character anymore. And there's an icon to pick something up. And it's like, how was I supposed to know that? Unless I just randomly walked back there.
I will say,
There's only one character in particular I can think of that
The
does
cheese
that.
lady, but I'm pretty sure there's a couple times I
Yeah.
found items. Like if you're trying to do the collector, you need to find a videotape, and like some of them are like behind walls. Or if you're collecting the
No.
Blorbo, yeah, you had to shove your face through a hedge that looks
Yeah,
that is a
that's
wall,
it.
but apparently it's an invisible
in
wall.
the video store, there's a sticker behind a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another example.
But behind like one of the columns, so it's like you just kind of I don't know as you.
No, it wasn't behind
one
a
of those
column.
games
It
where
was
it gets
behind a
annoying.
wall because the wall like jutted out on the right side.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a column.
But you go to 4 different areas. No, well, technically 6. but a couple areas are reused, so they don't even create that many new areas. You actually revisit some areas.
Are the
It's just-
video stores all the same?
Yep, all the
set
video
up?
stores are designed the same. All the coffee shops are designed the same. It was just kind of lazy with the graphics.
I liked seeing the way that like her legs moved, and not because it was good, but just like I just thought I liked the way that the legs moved.
I like how quickly you like defend that. Not because it was good. Please don't
Well,
think that.
it felt like a weird like paper cutout.
Yeah,
I kind of know what you
I
mean.
liked
think.
I
Like, it's
liked
not
it,
like,
but I
wow,
wasn't
that's-
sure if I should.
Yeah, it's not like wow, that's super incredible graphics, but
was this
it kind of
designed
looked to
for
it.
me to like it?
Like
I get
maybe
what
maybe
Liz is
even like
saying.
spider legs, kind of. I don't know.
I wish this game had a
No, I
sprint
don't like
button.
it.
That also got annoying.
Yeah, that would have been
The
nice.
Especially
what?
when you get to Los Verdanza or whatever. Like, that's a big area.
The what?
A sprint button.
Oh,
Because, yeah, you're trekking along that town quite a bit, and that got a little annoying.
and then something that I think is honestly one of the worst things about the games, and
No,
you
I
know
wouldn't say
it's
the
a-
worst, but
yeah,
it's
it
a
is
crime.
because I have an odd number right. I should say also when my game bugged out, I also realized that the entire time that I was playing, I wasn't getting achievements the first time. So like the second time, achievements started popping in, but I don't think I got all the achievements, which is fine. I don't care, but it ends in a 9 for me. I don't even want to give my score because it's really low compared to you. Because Andrew, you got 1435 out of 1500 with 48 out of 52 achievements. Keith, 1500 out of 1500 with 52 achievements. And I am really, really low. But it ends with a 9. And
Yes.
who does any game that has like ones, twos, like whatever it is, like you're just being a jerk.
Yeah.
Because
This is-
you know that's important for some people. Like, are you even a gamer? Do you like video games? Do you hate gamers? Do you hate
I
video
love
games?
This is the one getting fiery about this game.
Because
now.
it never bothered me before. And now
Yeah.
that you pointed out that my gamer score is all weird. And
I-
now what am I gonna have to do? Play more of the game to get it even?
Exactly. I have a conspiracy theory. This game's called the Big Con, but as far as the actual story goes, you're not doing really a big con. I think the Big Con
Is the game. Because they're making you play the whole thing
Yeah.
to get an even.
The very first achievement you get is worth 1 gamer score, but the beating the game achievement is worth 99.
Doesn't it seem like arrogant when you do like the ones and stuff?
Yeah,
Because
it's
you're
kind
just
of like,
like
oh, you want an even number? You got to beat the game. to
Like
get
my
an
game
even
is
score.
so good, you're gonna play the full thing. There's something that is kind of arrogant about it.
I think it balances out with all of the, and I know you have to beat the game, but at least if you get all of the story-driven
Yes.
achievements, I think it
You're
balances.
even
out
gonna
from
defend
there,
the
and
game
then-
with this, Keith. This is, I thought, the one thing we could all
I got
agree with.
1500, so I don't see the problem. I just did the thing and got 1500. I don't have a problem with it. Mine's even, so I have nothing to.
I
Complain
did not get
about.
all the achievements, but mine
Really?
is
So,
even as well.
but if your game bugged out and you were missing achievements, I don't think you would feel that way.
No, that is true. Because I definitely know that.
That's what I
the
thought,
even
Keith.
save Isn't that great?
That's what I thought. We can all agree.
Well, I'm just saying I have an even 1500, so I don't see the problem.
But the game's buggy.
it
The
just
game is
seems
buggy
like-
and doesn't give you all the achievements. So that is a problem.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I love this is the fiery one here. Are you gonna,
Because
are you
Keith
gonna
doesn't
drop an
care
F-bomb?
about my score. He's like, oh, well, too bad for you. I got 1500. Who cares if the game gives you odd scores? Too bad for Liz.
I just beat the game and I got all the
Just
achievements.
root Andrew's comment to me earlier, and now I have Keith. I just. Who put
You know what,
something
Liz?
in your
You know what,
drinks?
Liz? Cranberry mango. Cranberry
Keith,
mango.
I forgot to text you back after I saw that.
Don't even be mad. It's
I
okay.
know I am the
But
worst
I
person
I
with
saw it and I
texting.
laughed because again, 2 whole shelves of cranberry related beverages for the record. Just so I'm with Liz. on
Yeah,
the cranberry
I meant
mango.
to text you back. Do you know what? I'm so much better with making phone calls and calling people. But
Oh no, don't ever call me. It's fine.
oh my gosh, Keith, I will never call you. Okay, I could be like a block from you and like got hit by a
No,
car
I think the
bleeding
one
out, and
time-
I just like need somebody to help me until the ambulance gets there, and I'll be like, Keith said not to
I'm
call.
the worst person to call. I'm like 13 states away from you guys. What am I gonna do? But also the one time you called me, it was because Andrew was in the hospital and you were just giving me an update. So it was fine.
Wait,
and
I called
answered.
you? I thought I
Huh?
texted you. No, I
actually don't-
texted you.
You probably did.
I texted
Oh,
you.
good. Yeah.
Good.
So
Good.
You did the right
Good.
thing.
Thank
anyways.
you for not
I'm
calling
just
me.
saying,
You're just responsive, like, please don't call me. Thank God. Thank you for not calling me.
I'm just what I was saying is like sometimes, especially if I'm in the middle of like cooking dinner or something and somebody texts me and I'm like, oh, I'll get back to that, and then I don't. But if somebody calls me, like I answer the phone. So, and same with like so Andrew, his family, they'll be around like it wasn't a mall.
Yeah,
it was like a
we
furniture
were in a mall,
place.
yeah. We were in IKEA.
Yeah, no, with your parents.
Yeah.
It was a movie theater /
It was
furniture
George's
store.
Furniture. People are in New England. It's essentially a New England version of IKEA.
Yeah. And so they are walking around texting each other, trying to find each other, and they refuse to call each other. The second I finally force Andrew to call, we find them. Like, it's just like so weird to me where it's like there are times where it's just like call the person.
Just
And like we would have been there for another hour.
If you're my immediate family, you can call. Like that's the only people I will accept phone calls from is in my immediate family. If it's one of my parents, my siblings, my wife, or one of my children. If it is not one of those people on the list, I am not likely
Would
to
it
answer
even
your
like
phone.
someone that
Leave a
you
voicemail, then
know
maybe I'll get back to
long
you.
enough that like
Yeah.
Andrew, like someone you've known like your whole life?
It would really depend on what I'm
I
doing.
remember
If there was anything slightly more important than answering Andrew's phone call, like I don't know,
so
opening the door to let the dog in, I'm probably gonna go do that.
Wow.
Andrew will remember this. So when I was pregnant with our daughter, something was wrong with my phone where if I was using it like as a phone call, I could not hit the screen and go into anything else. I
Oh, yeah,
could
your screen
only
was
do,
broken.
yeah, I could only listen to, I could only talk on the phone, and I couldn't even put it on speaker to even see like what was going on. And I had this friend, like my college friend, call. And when she calls, sometimes, like, you know, we talk for half an hour. Sometimes we talk for 4 hours. I was on the phone for 4 hours. I hadn't talked to her in ages. And Andrew's at work, and he actually, like, almost sent someone to check on me because I wasn't texting him back or anything, which is really rare for me.
Yeah. And then I was calling you and you weren't answering.
Yeah.
So I legitimately was about to call the police for a wellness check.
Yeah, because, like I said, it's completely out of character for me. It wasn't going, it
Well, you
wasn't
won't pick up-
dead or
you-
anything.
You sometimes won't pick up my phone calls, but you will always pick up your sister's phone calls.
That is not true. I
Yes, it
always
is.
pick up your phone calls every single time. Unless I'm like in the
debatable.
bathroom. I don't answer phone calls if I'm peeing. I call them back.
Again, that depends on who's calling me. If it's my brother, yeah, I'm gonna answer that phone call.
Oh, it doesn't bother me. If I hear like the toilet flush, which there's a couple members of my family that it's like that's normal for them. Whatever. You can I don't care if you're peeing while you talk to me. You take a dump. I don't care. Sometimes I
Well,
hear
so
someone's
again,
in the
that's
bath and I'm
sibling
like,
related.
you can call me like after you got out of the bath. It's like, no, I'm just laying here.
Well, see, that's again person to
But
person.
I don't do
Like,
it.
If one of my sisters did that, it would be weird because it would just be so out of character for them. But again, if it's my brother, I would actually expect that to happen because in most cases he's like already on the phone with me. He's like, "Oh, hey, I'm going to be walking into the bathroom now. Please carry on with our conversation as if nothing is changing." And so for my brother, it wouldn't surprise me, but for my sister,
Well,
yeah,
I just
want to
say that I don't do it though. Like I'm okay. Like you know, when you gotta go, you gotta go. But I personally wouldn't pee on the phone. Like I just want to put it out there that I don't do that.
I don't either.
But
I'll
I
call you
accept-
back in a
I
few
think
minutes.
proper. I think proper at least is you have to at least announce it. Again, just going.
Nobody
in context
announces
with
it to me.
How I talk to my.
No, you don't have to announce on the
with my
phone.
brother.
He just
Maybe-
means in general. You need to shout to everyone in the neighborhood, I am peeing.
Oh, especially do it if you're in a public restroom. Definitely,
Well,
definitely.
Attention,
announce
I am
any
doing
knowledge
number
of
2.
me.
sometimes I'll clean the
Professional.
bathrooms while I'm on the phone, and then I'll be like, I'm cleaning the bathrooms, I'm about to flush. I promise I didn't pee. What does this have to do with the game?
I don't know. You just,
Where did we get here?
I don't know, but this conversation is way more enjoyable than Big Con.
Oh.
I thought I was okay with it continuing. But yeah, back to the achievements though. I love this is the thing that was getting you fired, Liz. But yes, the Big Con achievements are just can be egregious. If you're an achievement hunter though, I will say the Big Con, it's 1,500 gamer score, pretty easy. You're talking about like 6 hours of gameplay. you can get them all. That being said, almost every achievement is missable. So if you are going to play this game for achievement sakes, pull up a guide. Make sure that you are doing all the things in each area because there is no chapter select. So if you're like me and I have like 1,300 gamer score, unless I want to get the rest of those gamer scores, I have to replay this game.
1435. You lowballed it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I don't care. I would rather not play this game
What
again.
if it was
to get those.
1431?
Oh, ooh. I'd maybe play it.
Will you beat the game for me and get my score normal?
That's a tall ask.
And I'm not totally arguing it. It's as far as if you do a walkthrough, because in all honesty, with probably, I'd say even with about 10 minutes of just like kind of looking at, I don't know, probably even like, I think True Achievements is one of the best ones. That's what I kept going back to. You could actually probably get this run down in about 3 hours, maybe even less, because essentially every area is passable by just collecting enough money, which you can do super easy with a quick pickpocket. Yep. Outside of that, it's just have a quick conversation with this person, pick up this item, sell it to this person, and go to the next area. So it's if you pull up like a tab with each of those things, you just look at the location where it is, run there, and you're done. So it can be done very quickly if you truly just want to do this from an achievement hunting perspective. Source of how I know this is I missed actually a decent chunk on my first run through. So I did a second run through, and I did it in probably about 3 hours. Just specific. I had to find the movies. I had to sell the burblos, and I had to do the switcheroo. But outside of that, I think I was pretty much, didn't have to do everything. So I got through every area in probably under 30 minutes.
I can't even play this game twice.
I knew it was going to upset you. And that was honestly...
it's your life.
I know that. But I know that you wouldn't like that someone would play this game twice.
He doesn't have time to talk to me on the phone, but he has time to play that twice.
Oof. Oh.
I mean, you've never actually called me.
I'm going to call you, Keith. One day when you don't expect it, I'm going to call you.
People. And I'm going to not... Is somebody dying because I'm the wrong person to call?
All right, let's end this mess. Who wants to go first? Should I?
Yeah, just so you know, you gave the soccer story a 40.
Okay.
I don't know if I should have told you that.
The score I had in my thought is lower than 40.
Jeez. So, is this your lowest? This was going to be your lowest score of all time? I think
it will be.
Okay.
So I'll kick this off. Because I've been the high defense of this game as a whole, of the big con. I'm going to tell you something. I conned you. It's a pass for me. It's really not a game. But
I don't
serious? think it's as bad as you.
This is a whole bit.
It's not a game. Yeah, it's not a game. But I don't think it's as bad as you make it out to be. Like, you are angry and all of this about it. I don't think it's that. I think that the best and most redeeming thing about this game is that it is short and that you can get it done in about 3 hours.
Andrew changed your mind. I think he changed your mind and you don't want to admit it.
No.
It's not really a con. You just don't want to admit that Andrew made you change your mind.
110%. You could ask Amber, because I was talking to her this afternoon about how I wanted to pull this off on you. Not even kidding. I mean, it's not
really a con. The whole purpose of a con is to trick someone for you to gain something. All you essentially just did was lie to me.
He gained joy. He gained joy.
It's a con.
It's just a lie.
Whatever, Andrew. Let me run with my joy here. Thank you, Liz, for letting me have this. But honestly, I think the best thing about it is that if you really just do this with a quick walkthrough, you can get 1,500 gamer score and carry on with your life. And in those 3 hours, if you do it efficiently, it's not that bad. I think, again, the dialogue has enough fun little pop culture references, and I stand by that. I think the overall art style is pretty fun. The music isn't terrible, again, outside of the intro music. And for that, just do a walkthrough. But take 3 hours out of your afternoon on a Saturday afternoon. If you got some time to kill, and knock out 1,500 gamer score. But otherwise, it really isn't like good, and it's not. It's a pass. It's not a game you should play.
All right.
It disappointed me from the trailer.
Wait, did you
same
give
here.
a score? Did I miss that?
Oh, my score. Oh, it's like a 65.
Wow. Okay. I'm just going to apologize for this review part. I have a feeling I'm going to be a little mean because just the way I feel about this game is
Like
just,
you're going to be mean, as in like you're starting now.
like I have legitimate complaints. And if there is a developer who made this game listening, I apologize. I'm not trying just to dump on somebody's craft, but oh man, I did not like the Big Con at all. It was just not fun. Like I said, the main gameplay mechanic is you just rubbing your face, hoping to find invisible items. There's no real puzzle. It's not like, hey, you got a block of cheese, leave in front of this door and a cat comes out and that's how you solve this puzzle. No, it's like, it's just, you go up to people. You have this guy who wants to collect random things of, I'm looking for tropical things. And you give him like a flip-flop keychain and he pays you money. The whole purpose, like you're going to these stages and you're supposed to collect you have a money goal in order to go to the next stage, but you can go over that goal. Spoiler alert, there's no point in going over that goal because by the end of the game, which is very predictable of, you need to collect this money, you collect this money, but you don't even collect the money. The game just gives you that money in the end. And so you have excess money, which, oh my gosh, this was another issue I had with the story. I ended the game with almost $250,000. And your mom's like, oh my gosh, we can do all this stuff with it. And she goes, no, you need to figure out a way to give that money back. Roll credits. The game has no explanation as to what you're going to do. This is the 90s. Like, the internet doesn't really exist. You literally have been stealing money from people all across America. Like, how are you going to give back $250,000 to random people you were stealing on the street in the 90s? And the game doesn't have any resolution for it. Your mom just says, yeah, give it back somehow. Do, you win. And it's like, what? Like, that makes no sense. And so the gameplay just was dumb. I was so bored with it. I didn't care for any of the characters. Like I said, Rad Ghost was such a missed opportunity. You had a mini game where you're playing a skateboarding game, which was so boring. It's just pushing A and jumping over a bag of limes. Then you jumped over a pothole.
Oh man, we really didn't touch on that.
We didn't.
That game made me so sad.
Yeah, there's an
So
achievement
mad.
to get like a score of 18,000, and the scoring is you get like 5 points for every coin you get, and like 20 points for everything you jump over. And they expect you to get 18,000 score, which, pro tip, if you are trying to go for achievements, just go to the options, and there's an option to make your character invincible to make the game easy, which another case in point of like even the developers know that this isn't a very fun game, so we'll make it easy for you. It's dumb. The audio was just annoying. You had a lot of just repeat sound effects. The shopkeeper had this really whiny voice. The music, like I said, there was a couple songs that are like, oh, that's kind of catchy and fun. But the story wasn't interesting. The gameplay wasn't good. The achievements are a crime. The graphics, like I said, I agree with Keith I like the art style of it being kind of like Doug, but that was about it. As far as like actually exploring these environments, it was plain, boring, and reused. I got sick of it. And then when the credits roll, at the very end, it says the studio Mighty Yell will return, which I more took that as a threat than a promise. So, and like Liz said too, during the credit, they said, thank you to all the moms who worked at a video store and helped, kids live out their wacky dreams and help them stick it to the man. But you're not sticking it to the man, you're sticking it to random people. Like, it's just I'm legitimately curious.
I think the stick it to the man reference was them being supportive and going forward with creating video games as a career path, but I don't think that was a reference to the game itself.
I assumed like the developers grew up in a video store and like that's where they got the inspiration of this game. I don't know. I didn't care to look into it. I was so done with the Big Con. The only saving grace is that this game is short, and I was able to play more Starfield this week, which was great. So thank you at least for that, Keith. But yeah, I planned on giving this a 35.
I feel like my score is changing because I'm thinking about like that when I was playing it, I didn't dislike it so much that I was like, I can't play this. I mean, I didn't want to, but like there's games that have been so much harder that have harder to play. Like I wanted to play them even less, but I gave a higher score because of what the game gave me, like the amazing graphics or the amazing story or there was something. So it's, I don't know, but I also don't like it enough to play it twice. Keith gave it a 65.
Play it twice. You can't even play it once. You're telling me to beat it for you to fix your
I
gamer
know,
score.
but I think I'm going to give it a 60. I did not hate my time with it. In fact, like there were some times that I was having a little bit of fun.
This is why I wanted you to play a 6. I was like, I did. I wanted you to suffer because I think you would have maybe lowered your score if you put as much time
Maybe
as
I would
did.
have. Maybe the game is lucky that I, crashed on me and I lost all my progress. So it gets some extra points. But yeah, looking at Metacritic for Series X, 74 and 5.4.
Critics gave it a 74.
Yeah.
What critics? I'm not sure what you mean, but I gotta look this up.
I don't know, but the users.
Were there any in French?
No.
Oh.
But one thing I love that somebody brought up in the user section is that I mentioned this earlier. There, when it comes to 90s stuff, there really isn't a lot. Like,
Yeah,
we're
it's
the
usually
Pogs.
80s.
We're the... No, but, like, it's a game based in the 90s. But, like, there was Beanie Babies and Pogs and...
Well, they had the Blorbos, which are supposed to be like Furbies. But that was actually another point I was going to bring up is, like, if this game constantly didn't kept throwing the wacky, 90s shapes in the background during dialogue, I would have completely forgot this game was supposed to be taking place in the 90s.
Yeah. So, for me, it's just, like, it didn't really have that nostalgia factor that I kind of wanted. But I mean, I don't know if that's like a trademark issue, though. Can you like talk about those things? And because I feel like Pogs was a brand, right?
Yeah, 'cause like I said, they did Wayne's World, and they just kind of loosely based some characters, and they made a referential kind of quote about it. But yeah, I don't know. That's where I at least thought the most fun part was just the little Easter eggs of those things of like finding them around the map.
Windows Central gave this game an 80.
Huh.
Screen Rant gave
That
this game a
feels high.
70. GameSpot gave this game a 70.
Different strokes for
Yeah,
different
you're so
folks.
Andrew just doesn't understand.
You say that, but besides me, we're all, I think, relatively close to the same thing on this game. I don't know.
You're just angry about it. I don't know what got into you this week, and I just thought it'd be fun to mess with you.
I really did not care for this. I feel like we should start putting our scores on Metacritic, doing our average, or each of us do our own.
I was gonna say the average between all three of us.
But luckily, next week we're gonna go back to some good games. So let's wrap this up.
You say that, we don't know.
No, I picked next week's game, and I've already been enjoying it. Actually, no, it's a listener pick, so it's actually not just me. But yeah, if you have any game suggestions, please go to GamePassGrabBag.com. You can find the links to all of our stuff. You can write us an email, reach us out to our socials, whatever. We also have our wonderful link for our wonderful sponsor with the promo code. So if you're at all interested in Magic Bind, which I highly recommend the product, it's really good. Yeah, go to GamePassGrabBag.com. I've been your Hardcore Gamers host, Andrew. You can find me in Xbox Live at Firebird0952. And that's it. Go ahead, Keith.
I've been Keith. Sometimes I listen to these episodes, so if I'm gonna rate a listener here, I'm gonna give myself just a flat 9, but a solid 9 on making Andrew angry. What a great job I did. Even if I wasn't a listener, oh man, just making Andrew angry, that deserves just a 9 at a human level. I feel like I did well.
Which
give me a
you
medal.
do remind me. I keep always forgetting to bring these up, but I always do polls on Spotify, and so thank you so much for people who respond to the polls or reach out on Spotify. But Keith, do you remember when we played Everspace and Liz was complaining about the fast travel, about long space travel? So I did a poll on that on Everspace. I asked, do you ever notice long travels or load screens? We had 9 votes. 3 people said yes. 6 people said no.
And I did not vote.
And I didn't either, so... So I guess, yeah, most people actually generally just don't notice the long load times. I kind of feel like I should have put this question too for Starfield, because that was the thing too where people were like, oh, it's load field, where it's just constantly loading. I never got bothered by the loads.
I didn't for Starfield, but I mean with Everspace, I mean you say, oh, most people don't, but that a third of people, that's a big chunk.
Yeah. But we need more votes. Help us with the numbers, which I will go on to the next one because I did a poll for Starfield as well, which has a lot of responses. So I'll be reading that next week.
And I'm Liz the Noob, gamertag Come On Dean. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Liz Noob, Noob is EW. And thanks to the people who've been voting on my polls. Andrew and I are going to play that game soon.
Oh, yeah,
we have just been really busy this week. I believe Exit won, which I was kind of surprised by that. So we're gonna be playing that soon.
Yeah, so make sure you follow Liz on her Twitter. Or X. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining us. We love you all. We'll see you again next week.
Bye, guys.